Hello everyone, my name is Aastha. I welcome you all to our classes for International English Olympiad for class 5th. This is our 11th class wherein what we will be doing is the topic of adjectives. It is one topic which really adds to the quality of your language. So watch the class carefully and take down notes. Alright, let's get started.
Now the first question that comes to our mind is, what are adjectives? Okay, so we will first answer our very basic question. अब जैसे कि हमने मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम किया है, हम एक एग्जाम्पल लेंगे और उस एग्जाम्पल से हम समझने की कोशिश करेंगे कि कैसी सिचुएशंस में हम एडजेक्टिव्स यूज करते हैं. ये क्वेश्चन आप देख रहे हैं. दिस क्वेश्चन सेज, now suppose this is the giraffe and this giraffe is asking, how do I look? तो इसके जवाब क्या क्या हो सकते हैं. Now giraffes की जो मदर है, giraffe's mother says you look amazing. अब हमारी जो मॉम्स होती हैं, आपकी मॉम्स कभी भी आपको ऐसे नहीं बोलेंगे कि नहीं तुम अच्छे नहीं लग रहे. Our moms are always the first one to say कि बेटा you look amazing, you look very good, right? My princess, my prince, moms always appreciate you. Mom, you look, mother will say you look amazing. So mom ने कैसे describe किया? You look amazing. However, हमारे जो siblings होते हैं, हमारे जो भाई बहन होते हैं ना, हमसे हमारी हमेशा sibling rivalry चलती है. Even I have a little brother and whenever I ask him how do I look, he always tells me nah, you don't look. No matter मैंने कितनी भी अच्छी dresses पहनी हूँ, मैं कितनी भी अच्छी तरीके से ready हुई हूँ, no, he will always say no, you don't look good, you never look good, right? So here my sibling says don't look good, but my mother says you look amazing. तो कैसे describe करा है? जो ये वर्ड्स डिस्क्राइब करें हैं ना, जो ये वर्ड्स यूज करें हैं डिस्क्राइब करने के लिए, आई वांट यू टू फोकस ऑन दैट. ओके, फ्रॉम दिस वी विल सी ऑन द फॉलोइंग स्लाइड. अब एक और एग्जांपल. यू सी, अगर ये जो ड्रेस है, दिस ड्रेस, इफ आई आस्क यू टू डिस्क्राइब this dress for me, how will you describe it? You will say it is a red dress, right? Pink, red, similar colors. It is a red color dress. Okay, size के लिए आप बोलेंगे कि it is a short dress. Describe करने में यही सब तो आता है कि उसका color क्या है, उसका size क्या है, and how is it looking. It's a beautiful dress, right? These kind of words you will use to describe any object that I ask you to describe, right? अगर और कोई डिस्क्रिप्शन और कोई वर्ड और कोई सेंटेंस आपके दिमाग में आया तो यू शुड राइट दैट डाउन. ओके, सो नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. Now we have this burger. Burger, if I ask to describe this burger, इसको ऐसे डिस्क्राइब करेंगे उसके साइज के लिए. यू विल से it's a big burger. Its taste, for its taste you will also describe and say it's delicious, and its temperature you will also say it's hot. Burgers are best served hot. It's a big delicious hot burger. Okay, so ऐसे ही हम किसी भी not just this burger but any object, you see, any object, any object को आप यही तरीके से उसका साइज लेके, उसका अगर कोई फूड आइटम है तो उसका टेस्ट, उसका टेम्परेचर, अदरवाइज किसी उसका जो डिस्क्रिप्शन है, यही सब वर्ड्स यूज करके यू विल डिस्क्राइब एनी ऑब्जेक्ट, राइट? Okay, so after seeing the examples, now let's finally understand what really adjectives are. Now, adjectives basic meaning says an adjective is a word that describes describes any animal, person, thing, or thought. We can also say that an adjective is a word that describes any noun. Because if you remember, what was the definition of noun? Any animal, person, thing, or thought. That is noun. So, any adjective is something that describes a noun. Okay? So, the adjectives are words that describe what something looks like. First of all, it describes what something looks like. Looks like, example, beautiful, ugly, tall, short. How does something look? Then, what something feels like. Second, what something feels like. Soft or hard, smooth, tough. Words like that. Or food items, we can also say what something tastes like. Like delicious, yummy, sour, ripe. Then adjectives also describe what something, fourth point, what something smells like. Aromatic, pleasant, pleasant, all these smells. So, if you remember in all the examples that we took, we described either, we described what something either looks like, or what something feels like, or what something tastes like, or what something smells like. Alright? So, this is an adjective. You have to remember the basic meaning, which says adjective is nothing but something that describes any noun. Okay? Adjectives are usually used to describe anything. Okay? Now, let's move on. Okay, so here, here we have a few sentences as examples, and we will see which kind of adjective is each one of them telling us. For example, if you see the first sentence, I have a small house. Small. Which word is describing something here? Small. And what is being described? House. House is a noun. House is a thing which is being described by the word small. And what is it describing? What the house looks like. Okay, what it looks like. Then the second one. My father made yummy cupcakes. My father made yummy cupcakes. What is being described here? Cupcakes. Cupcakes are the noun here. And what did the cupcakes taste like? Yummy. So, yummy is the adjective which is describing what the cupcakes taste like. What is it describing? It is describing what the cupcakes taste like. Taste like. Okay. So the first one was describing what the house looks like. Second one, what the cupcakes taste like. Now the third one. Her perfume was aromatic. Now, what is being described? The perfume. Perfume is a thing, is a noun which is being described by the adjective aromatic. An adjective is describing what the perfume smells like. Okay? Smells like. I'm sorry, I'm unable to write with the stylus properly. So it is describing what something what the perfume smells like. Then the fourth one is the glass is hard. So what is being described here? What is the noun? The glass. And glass is being described as hard. Okay. So we saw 4 examples here, wherein the first one is describing what the house looks like. The second one is describing what the cupcakes taste like. Third one is describing what it smells like. Okay, smells like, S I will write for smells. And the fourth one, the glass is hard. This one is describing what the glass feels like. So various kinds of descriptions are given by the adjectives. Okay. So adjectives are nothing but words which describe what something looks like, what something tastes like, what something smells like, and what something feels like. Okay, this is the basic meaning of adjective. Now let's move on. Now this is another subcategory for the adjectives. We will be doing comparatives and superlatives. Comparatives and superlatives are one such topic where we will be comparing two things or more than two things. अब हम इसे कैसे करेंगे और कैसे comparison draw करेंगे, comparatives and superlatives क्या होते हैं, ये we will see in the next few slides. So शुरू करते हैं. First of all, as I told you, comparatives and superlatives, they are used to compare. Compare what? Compare nouns or pronouns. अब हम एक क्विक रिविजन कर लें कि nouns और pronouns होते क्या हैं. Nouns क्या होते थे? Nouns were any person, any animal, any place, or anything. So person, place, animal, thing, all these things, they were nouns. Okay. And what were pronouns? Pronouns are the words which replace the nouns. Just say if we write I like the dog is 2 years old. So I like the dog, it is 2 years old. So we write it for the dog, it. Okay. It, him, he, she, her, his, all these words, they are pronouns. So these comparatives and superlatives, they are used to compare. हम जब दो nouns को, for example, if we are comparing one house with another, then we will be using comparatives and superlatives. अगर हम किसी if we are comparing him and her, one guy and one boy and one girl, so comparing pronouns, that will be done using comparatives and superlatives. हम कैसे form करेंगे? Now let's see that. Comparative adjectives. So first of all, we will be doing comparative adjectives. Here, comparative adjectives का आप नाम देखेंगे तो नाम से we can sense it from the name compare. दो words को, दो nouns या pronouns को compare कर रहे हैं. तो इसका meaning क्या हुआ? Comparing adjectives, they are used to compare differences between the two objects they modify. For example, larger, smaller, faster, higher. and they are used in sentences where two nouns are compared. You see, we are comparing two nouns. अब इसकी जो formation है, the formation कैसे इसका फॉर्मेट है? दिस इज द फॉर्मेट. द नाउन जो हमारा सब्जेक्ट है, जो हमारा बेसिस है कंपेयर करने का, नाउन प्लस वर्ब प्लस कंपैरेटिव एडजेक्टिव प्लस देन प्लस नाउन. अब ये आपको रचना नहीं है. ओके, यू डोंट हैव टू राइट दिस डाउन एंड मेमोराइज दिस. आपको ये मेमोराइज नहीं करना. ऑफ कोर्स ये आपके क्वेश्चंस में आएगा, बट अभी हम जब एग्जाम्पल्स देखेंगे ना, तो आपको ये अपने आप ही समझ आ जाएगा. इसको आपको रटने की जरूरत नहीं है कि नाउन प्लस वर्ब प्लस कंपैरेटिव एडजेक्टिव प्लस देन प्लस नाउन. ये आपको इंग्लिश ऐसी चीज है ना, जो आपको ऐसे आप रटोगे तो आपको कुछ नहीं होगा. आपसे कोई पूछेगा नहीं कि फॉर्मेशन कैसे करते हैं. ठीक है, कोई नहीं पूछेगा आपसे कि टेल मी व्हाट आर कंपैरेटिव एडजेक्टिव्स एंड टेल मी हाउ आर दे फॉर्म्ड, व्हाट इज देयर फॉर्मेट. Nobody will ask that to you. However, जो questions आएंगे, the questions will be of this sort, जिसमें आपको comparative adjectives options में से choose करने होंगे या fill in करने होंगे correct comparative adjectives. तो हम अभी examples देखेंगे तो आपको समझ आ जाएगा. So let's start. For example, now you see कैसे my house is larger than hers. अब यहाँ पे you see कि एक हाउस को दूसरे के हाउस से कंपेयर कर रहे हैं. So my house is larger. Larger क्या है? हमारा comparative adjective. अब इसमें आपको ऐसे तो याद नहीं करना कि subject plus verb plus comparative adjective. हम इसको इंग्लिश में कंपैरेटिव एडजेक्टिव का सेंटेंस ही ये बनेगा कि माई हाउस इज लार्जर देन. कंपेयर किससे कर रहे हैं? देन हर्स. सो दिस वाज द फर्स्ट हाउस, फर्स्ट नाउन, एंड द सेकंड हाउस हर्स, मतलब हर हाउस इज कंपेयर्ड विद द सेकंड वन, एंड द फर्स्ट वन इज लार्जर देन हर्स. माई हाउस इज लार्जर देन हर्स. So आपने देखा comparative adjective कैसे यूज हुआ. Now let's see the second sentence. The second sentence says the box is smaller than the one I lost. यहाँ पे larger था, यहाँ पे smaller. यहाँ पे क्या हम adjectives में क्या बता रहे हैं? यहाँ पे हम size बता रहे हैं. What it looks like. Okay, it's the size comparison हो रहा है. तो एडजेक्टिव तो हो गया ये, पर कंपैरेटिव एडजेक्टिव कैसे हुआ? क्योंकि हम एक बॉक्स को दूसरे बॉक्स से कंपेयर कर रहे हैं. We are comparing the subject with the object and using the comparative adjective of smaller. Okay? Now the next sentence. Your dog runs faster than Jim's dog. Your dog. This is one. This is our first. This is the subject. First noun जो है, it is being compared with Jim's dog, which is the second noun, or we can say the object. Subject को object से compare किया using which adjective? The comparative adjective of faster. मतलब तुम्हारा जो डॉग है वो जिम के डॉग से ज्यादा तेज भागता है. कंपेयर किससे किया? जिम्स डॉग से. Right? Now the next sentence. The rock flew higher than the roof. यहाँ पे हमारा subject क्या है? The subject is rock, flew higher than the roof. And second noun is roof. Roof is the object. The comparative adjective being used is higher. Okay. यहाँ पे आपने देखा जो फर्स्ट, यहाँ पे जो सारे ये जो फर्स्ट जो सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, दे आर बीइंग कंपेयर्ड विद द नाउन्स, with the objects, the second nouns जो हैं, using the comparative adjectives. Okay, these all comparative adjectives. और यहाँ पे हमारे पास यूज हुआ है क्या, ये verbs is, runs, flew, और यहाँ पे कंपैरिजन करने के लिए than भी एक important word है while using the comparative adjectives. Okay, so जो formation है उसके लिए आपको बस sentences समझने हैं, उसके लिए आपको कोई formation याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है कि subject plus verb plus the comparative adjective plus than plus the object. No, you don't have to memorize it. You just have to remember the examples. और examples में आपको पता है कि ये subject है, verb है, comparative adjective है, फिर than use होता है क्योंकि हम compare कर रहे हैं, और फिर object. Okay, very simple. Now let's move on to our next slide. So now we have done comparative adjectives and we have seen how comparative adjectives they compare two nouns or pronouns. Okay, now we will be talking about superlative adjectives and see what they do. When are superlative adjectives used? What do they mean? So, as we can see, superlative adjectives, they are used to describe. Now, it is important to see describe. Comparative adjectives भी describe के लिए use होते हैं, superlative adjectives भी describe. Why? Because जो adjectives हैं, adjectives का जो काम होता है, adjectives का काम ही होता है nouns को, pronouns को describe करना. Alright, so whenever there is a description of something, then we have adjectives. So superlative adjectives used to describe an object. What are they describing? An object, but इसका condition क्या लगी हुई है? Description of an object तो adjectives भी देते हैं, comparative adjectives भी देते हैं. तो superlative adjectives क्या करते हैं? Describe an object which is at the upper or the lower limit of a quality. मतलब examples दिए हैं जैसे tallest, smallest, fastest, highest. So the adjectives they are used to describe an object which is at the upper or lower limit of a quality. Okay? अब इसको हम जब examples लेंगे तो आपको समझ आएगा कि कैसे upper limit और lower limit हम किस sense में कह रहे हैं. आप ये देखिए कि यहाँ पे लिखा है they are used in sentences where a subject is compared to a group of objects. Alright, now what is important here that it is used in a sentence where the subject is compared to a group of objects. Group of objects. जैसे मैं आपको example देती हूँ. Suppose I have two brothers and sisters. मतलब एक तो मैं हूँ आस्था, okay, and I am 21 years old, okay, and I have a brother. My brother, suppose say he is 13 years old. Let's say I have another sister. And that my sister is 30 years old. Okay. So who are we? We are all siblings. भाई बहन हैं हम सब. अब इसमें अगर हम compare करेंगे, you see, let's draw a comparison here. हम जब आस्था को और मेरे भाई को compare करेंगे, आस्था and brother. So we compare and we say, Aastha is elder. Aastha is elder than her brother. तो यहाँ पे हमने कौन सा एडजेक्टिव यूज किया? कंपैरेटिव। हम एक सब्जेक्ट को एक ऑब्जेक्ट से कंपेयर कर रहे हैं। आस्था इज एल्डर, या फिर हम ये भी कह सकते हैं आस्था's ब्रदर इज यंगर देन हर, तब भी हम एक को ही कंपेयर कर रहे हैं। ठीक है, यहाँ पे लेकिन सबसे बड़ा एज में कौन है? सबसे बड़ी इज माई सिस्टर। सो फॉर माई सिस्टर वी विल से शी इज the eldest of all the siblings. She is eldest of all, मतलब upper limit, सबसे बड़ी है वो. And my brother, for my brother I will say he is the youngest. ओके, सो अपर लिमिट में कौन है? सबसे बड़ी इज माई सिस्टर, एंड लोअर लिमिट पे वी हैव माई ब्रदर एंड ही इज द यंगेस्ट. ओके, सो इसका मतलब जो यहाँ पे लिखा है ना, सुपरलेटिव एडजेक्टिव्स दे आर यूज्ड टू डिस्क्राइब एन ऑब्जेक्ट विच आर एट द अपर और द लोअर लिमिट. सो ये है इसका मतलब कि एल्डेस्ट कौन था? माई सिस्टर, and that's why we refer to her as eldest. और जो eldest है ना, eldest is the superlative adjectives. ठीक है, eldest is the superlative adjective. Youngest is also superlative adjective. Smallest, youngest, tallest, fastest, highest. अब इसके हम अभी और comparisons देखेंगे और examples देखेंगे तो आपको और अच्छे से समझ आएगा. Let's move on. See a few examples. The first sentence here says, my house is the largest one in our neighborhood. अब आप इसी को कंपेयर करें अगर हमारे कंपैरेटिव एडजेक्टिव वाले एग्जाम्पल से, where we said my house is smaller than her house. या तो उसमें हम दो हाउसेस को कंपेयर कर रहे हैं, एक ये हाउस है, ठीक है, एंड एक ये हाउस है. हम सिर्फ अगर दो को कंपेयर कर रहे हैं तो वी यूज्ड द कंपैरेटिव एडजेक्टिव कि दिस हाउस इज बिगर देन दिस हाउस, इज लार्जर देन दिस हाउस. बट व्हेन वी आर, जब हम इन सब में कंपेयर करेंगे, नेबरहुड जो है बहुत बड़ी होती है. नेबरहुड है ये, इसमें बहुत सारे हाउसेस हैं और ओके, देयर आर मोर हाउसेस. अब हम इसमें जब बोलेंगे व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस हाउस, जब हम बहुत सारे हाउसेस में बोल रहे हैं, सबसे बड़ा कौन सा है? माई हाउस. माई हाउस इज द लार्जेस्ट वन. लार्जेस्ट मतलब अपर लिमिट, सबसे बड़ा है. द अपर लिमिट इन आवर नेबरहुड. ग्रुप ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट्स, नेबरहुड में तो बहुत सारे हाउसेस होते हैं, राइट? सो इट इज द लार्जेस्ट वन, सबसे बड़ा. This largest is the superlative adjective. Okay, now next example. This is the smallest box I have ever seen. This is the smallest box I have ever seen. अब बहुत सारे boxes देखे हैं मैंने लाइफ में, but सबसे small मतलब lower limit, सबसे छोटा, smallest box I have ever seen. Okay? Smallest is the superlative adjective. एक बॉक्स को we are comparing with जो भी बॉक्सेस मैंने देखे हैं आज तक. ठीक है, सिर्फ दो बॉक्स को कंपेयर नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम एक बॉक्स को बता रहे हैं कि ये सबसे छोटा है among all the boxes I have ever seen. Okay, I hope you are understanding the difference between comparative adjectives and superlative adjectives. Let's see another one. Your dog ran the fastest of any dog in the race. मतलब आपका जो डॉग है इतना, मतलब he is so fast that he ran the fastest of any dog in the race. There was a race and there were many dogs which participated. Okay, but this particular dog, he ran the fastest. There were other dogs also, more than one, right? All of them were slower. देन द पर्टिकुलर डॉग। सो हम सिर्फ दो डॉग्स को कंपेयर नहीं कर रहे हैं, वी आर कंपेयरिंग one dog with another group of dogs. Okay, then another example, we all threw our rocks at the same time, my rock flew the highest. See यहाँ क्या हो रहा है, there are these kids, okay, and इन लोगों ने ना अपने rocks फेंके, they had stones and they threw their rocks up in the air. इनका रॉक गया यहाँ तक, इनका रॉक गया यहाँ तक, इनका रॉक गया यहाँ तक, इनका रॉक यहीं तक रह गया। सो अगर अब ध्यान से सुनना, मैं कंपैरेटिव और सुपरलेटिव में आपको डिफरेंस समझा रही हूं। यहाँ पे अगर हम सिर्फ इन दोनों को कंपेयर करें तो हम बोलेंगे कि his rock flew higher. Okay, higher than his rock. ठीक है, इसमें सिर्फ हम दो को कंपेयर कर रहे हैं, पर अगर हम इन सब में कंपेयर करेंगे, इन सब में अगर हम कंपेयर करेंगे तो हम क्या बोलेंगे, that his rock flew the highest. आप डिफरेंस समझ रहे हैं कि कहाँ हम सिर्फ दो को कंपेयर कर रहे हैं और कहाँ हम जब एक के साथ बाकी सबको कंपेयर कर रहे हैं, हाईएस्ट हमारी अपर लिमिट इस रॉक ने रीच करी तो हाईएस्ट। ठीक है, ये डिफरेंस है कंपैरेटिव एंड सुपरलेटिव में। कंपैरेटिव इज जब हम एक एंड 1 and 2 हम दोनों को कंपेयर कर रहे हैं तो हो गया हमारा कंपैरेटिव एडजेक्टिव। बट जब हम सुपरलेटिव में एक तो है पर देयर आर अ लॉट मोर, 2, 3, 4, 5, देयर आर अ लॉट मोर। तो इन सबको जब हम एक से कंपेयर कर रहे हैं और ये जो एक है ये या तो अपर लिमिट में है या तो लोअर लिमिट में है, या तो सबसे बड़ा है या तो सबसे छोटा है, या तो सबसे ज्यादा है सबसे कम है, मतलब किसी भी सेंस में, जैसे फास्टेस्ट है या स्लोएस्ट है, इसी सेंस में अपर लिमिट या लोअर लिमिट। ठीक है, अभी हम आगे इनकी फॉर्मेशन देखेंगे तो आप और देखेंगे कंपैरिजंस एंड एग्जांपल्स, तो आपको और क्लियर हो जाएगा। लेट्स मूव ऑन। हाउ टू फॉर्म। अब ये हमने देखा लार्जर, लार्जेस्ट, फर्दर, फारदेस्ट, ये सब हमने देखा। तो अब हम ये कैसे फॉर्म करते हैं, कौन से एडजेक्टिव का कैसा फॉर्मेशन होगा। नाउ वी विल सी वन बाय वन वेरियस कैटेगरीज। ओके, नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग वेरियस कैटेगरीज में हम देखेंगे फॉर्मेशन कैसे होगी। फर्स्ट इज the one syllable adjectives. One syllable adjectives के में हम comparative के लिए er ऐड कर देंगे। क्या ऐड करेंगे, er adjective में, and superlative के लिए हम लोग est ऐड करेंगे। ओके, फिर if the adjective has a consonant, single vowel and consonant spelling, so the final consonant must be doubled before adding the ending. अब इसका आपको कंफ्यूजिंग लग रहा होगा, पर हम जो लास्ट का कॉन्सोनेंट है, जब वो लास्ट के कॉन्सोनेंट में एंड हो रहा है तो हमसे डबल कर देंगे बिफोर er या फिर est। ये कैसे होगा मैं आपको नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में एग्जाम्पल लेके समझाती हूँ। ओके, Now here you see क्या हो रहा है। हमने क्या देखा था कि कंपैरेटिव में हम क्या ऐड करेंगे, er, और सुपरलेटिव में क्या ऐड करेंगे, est। ठीक है, बट हमने एक और चीज देखी थी कि जब there is consonant, vowel and कॉन्सोनेंट एंडिंग, कॉन्सोनेंट एंडिंग हो रही है L, T, G, D। तो हमें ये जो ER और EST है ये तो ऐड करना ही है, बट एक और चीज हमें क्या करना है कि ये जो हमारा लास्ट कॉन्सोनेंट है ना, कॉन्सोनेंट एंडिंग, इसको हमें रेपिटेटिव करना है, ये डबल हो जाएगा। टॉलर में तो देयर इज ऑलरेडी अ डबल वन एंड इट इज नॉट अ सिंगल कॉन्सोनेंट एंडिंग, ये डबल कॉन्सोनेंट एंडिंग है, तो इसमें तो ये डबल नहीं होगा, इसमें ऑलरेडी है, तो इधर ER ऐड कर दिया हमने। कंपैरेटिव में, सुपरलेटिव में EST, tall, taller, tallest। For fat, you see there is a consonant ending, तो हमने क्या कर दिया इसे, कंपैरेटिव में fatter and superlative में fattest। All right, there is a double हो गया कौन सा हमारा लेटर, T, क्योंकि वो लास्ट में हमारी सिंगल कॉन्सोनेंट एंडिंग है। Similarly for big, G ending, G सिंगल कॉन्सोनेंट एंडिंग, कंपैरेटिव में हमने ER तो ऐड किया ही, ये ER ऐड किया हमने, बन गया बिगर, डबल G। फॉर सुपरलेटिव अगेन वी हैव बिगेस्ट, जिसमें हमने EST तो ऐड किया ही जैसे हमें करना है, पर हमने ये कॉन्सोनेंट का सिंगल एंडिंग थी तो हमने इसे डबल कर दिया। ओके, अनदर वन सैड, सैड में कॉन्सोनेंट वॉवल, कॉन्सोनेंट एंडिंग, इस कॉन्सोनेंट एंडिंग D, हम इसे कंपैरेटिव में ER तो ऐड करेंगे ही और इसे कॉन्सोनेंट एंडिंग को डबल कर देंगे, डबल D, सैडर। नाउ फॉर सुपरलेटिव, सबसे पहले हमें EST तो ऐड करना है, वन सिलेबल एडजेक्टिव है ये, इसमें कॉन्सोनेंट वॉवल कॉन्सोनेंट एंडिंग D जो है उसे हम डबल कर देंगे, double plus EST, saddest। Okay, this was our first category, one syllable adjectives. Now let's move on to our second category, adjectives. Now second category is the two syllable adjectives. Okay, two syllable adjectives में क्या करते हैं हम, adjectives with two syllables can form the comparative by adding ER। comparative में दो options हैं हमारे पास, either by adding ER या फिर by preceding the adjective with more। okay, and superlative के लिए, superlative या तो हम EST ऐड कर दें जैसे हम one syllable में कर रहे थे, या फिर हम adjective will be preceded by most, either more or most, या फिर ER, EST। ओके, तो अब इसके हम एग्जाम्पल्स देखेंगे, फिर आपको ज्यादा अच्छे से समझ आएगा। ओके, सो यू सी हियर, हैप्पी सेकेंड कैटेगरी है, इसमें हमने क्या सीखा है, या तो हम ER ऐड करेंगे या फिर हम मोर लिख देंगे, जो हमारा एडजेक्टिव है एडजेक्टिव से पहले, यहां पे हम EST ऐड करेंगे या फिर हम लिख देंगे मोस्ट। ओके, सो हैप्पी, हैप्पी इज अ टू सिलेबल एडजेक्टिव, इसमें हमने कंपैरेटिव में हमने ER ऐड कर दिया, हैप्पियर, एंड फॉर सुपरलेटिव वी एडेड EST। फॉर सिंपल वी एडेड इन ER, सिंपल ऑलरेडी एंड्स इन E तो हमने सिर्फ R ऐड किया, हियर EST इन द सुपरलेटिव वन। बिजी, again busier and busiest। tilted, अब tilted में we added a more, more tilted and most tilted। tangled, more tangled most tangled. You see, these are the various varieties जिसमें या तो हम er ऐड करेंगे या फिर हम more ऐड करेंगे for comparative, या तो हम est ऐड करेंगे या फिर हम most ऐड करेंगे for superlative. So these various examples: happy, happier, happiest, simple, simpler, simplest, busy, busier, busiest, tilted, more tilted, most tilted, tangled, more tangled, most tangled. Okay, now let's move on. अब हम आ रहे हैं 3 or more syllables. जब 3 या more syllables हों तो हम यहाँ पे क्या है, यहाँ पे हम more डालेंगे या फिर superlative पे most. Comparative में we will put on a more, and superlative में we will have most. Okay, now let's see a few examples. Okay, important, more than three syllables adjectives. So say comparative में we added a more, and superlative में we added a most. For expensive we added a more. For expensive comparative we added a more. For the superlative we added a most. So comparative में क्या add करते हैं हम? More. And superlative में we add a most. Okay, this is easy to remember. इसमें कुछ नहीं करना है, same रहेगा हमारा adjective but more and most. So we read 2 examples: important, more important, most important, expensive, more expensive, most expensive. Okay, let's move on. अब कुछ होते हैं जो एकदम irregular होते हैं, जो ना हमारे first syllable, second syllable, third syllable की categories में नहीं आते. ये हमारी fourth category है, which are irregular comparatives and superlatives, completely irregular. So let's see how are they formed. Now we say these are very common adjectives and they have completely irregular comparative and superlative. Irregular का मतलब कोई standard formation नहीं है. जैसे कि हमने one syllable में standard formation देखी थी er, est की, three syllables में देखी थी most and more की. यहाँ पे कोई standard नहीं है, यहाँ पे अलग अलग तरीके से हम superlatives and comparatives बनाएंगे. These comparatives and superlatives will be completely irregular. Let's see. Here we have a few examples. जैसे good. Good के लिए हम gooder नहीं कहते हैं, goodest नहीं कहते हैं. For good we use better. Okay, for the comparative. And for superlative we use best. Similarly, for the second example, bad, we use, for bad, comparative के लिए हम use करते हैं worse, and for the superlative we use worst. Okay, सबसे बुरा. Then little, we don't say littler, littlest, no. For little, for the comparative we use is less. And for the superlative we use least. For much, जो comparative हम use करते हैं, that is more, and the superlative we use is most. Then for far, the comparative we use is further or farther, and the superlative we use is furthest or farthest. Okay, so we did the following examples: good, better, best, bad, worse, worst, little, less, least, much, more, most, far, further or farther, and furthest and furthest or farthest. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Alright, so now we have one more category, which is the adjective phrase, or we can call it the adjectival phrase. What are these adjectival phrases or adjective phrase? What they do is, their function is same as adjectives, which is, describing a noun or a pronoun. And what they do is they tell a bit more information about a noun or a pronoun. Okay, and how are they formed? The adjective is used with usually an intensifier. Okay, so there is nothing difficult and nothing new in here. All you have to remember is these adjective phrases, when we're talking about, they will not have a single word. Because the phrase itself means having more than one word. So it will not just have one adjective, it will have either an intensifier or multiple adjectives. All right. Okay, here you see example. Here you see an example. The handsome boy is my brother. Here, what is the adjective? Handsome. This is what? This is an adjective only. But then if we say the boy who is so handsome, this becomes an adjective phrase, adjectival phrase. All right. Then we have the red fragrant flowers. Red fragrant. This is what? An adjectival phrase. Then here, I like people who speak the truth. So this is what? Who speak the truth. This is what? It is describing, giving more information about the noun people. So this is an adjectival phrase. I could have easily said I like truthful people. Truthful could have been an adjective. But here I like people who speak the truth. So here who speak the truth becomes an adjectival phrase. Alright, this is just a slight difference and nothing much too serious or much to focus upon. It is just a slight difference that you should know about. Alright. Okay, so now we will be moving on for the quiz from the next slide. However, एक हम क्विक रिवीजन कर लेते हैं. हमने करे हैं adjectives. Adjectives में हमने देखा है कि these adjectives are nothing but the description of various nouns. किसी भी noun को, pronoun को जो describe करते हैं words, वो होते हैं adjectives. Adjectives में हमने फिर आगे जाके देखा comparative adjectives and superlative adjectives. Comparative adjectives and superlative adjectives. Comparative adjectives, जैसे अगर हम this boy and this girl, if we are comparing them, for example, if we say the girl's hair is longer than that of the boys. Hair को compare कर रहे हैं तो longer hair, okay? But यहाँ पे अगर हम एक और boy होता, मतलब if we are comparing it among these children, and I would say suppose this girl is the most intelligent among all the kids. Okay, suppose it's a classroom and there are many children, and there are many children, more children over here, and I say this girl is the most intelligent of all the children. So ये क्या हो गया? Superlative adjective, most intelligent. Okay, यही हमने देखा है. इसके simple हमने formations देखे हैं superlative and comparative adjectives के. अब हम we will move on towards our quiz. Okay, we will move on towards our quiz. Quiz में every question, as you know, I will be giving you 1 minute timer के हिसाब से, and इसके लिए I would like to say कि I am giving you 1 minute to be on the safe side. क्योंकि जो एग्जाम होगा आपका फाइनल IEO, उसमें आपको पर क्वेश्चन मोर देन 1 मिनट मिलता ही है. तो मैंने सेफ साइड पे आपको एडजेक्टिव्स के क्वेश्चंस के लिए 1 मिनट दिया है. However, अगर आपका less than 1 minute में कंप्लीट हो जाता है, so I would request you कि आप फास्ट फॉरवर्ड करें और आंसर देख लें डायरेक्टली. बट अगर आपको 1 मिनट में नहीं हो पाता है, टाइम खत्म हो जाता है, तो आप वीडियो पॉज करें एंड फर्स्ट आप अपना आंसर लिखें. Why am I saying this to you is because for every incorrect answer you get no points. This means IEO में भी there is no negative marking. कोई नेगेटिव मार्किंग नहीं है. अगर आप गलत आंसर देंगे तो आपको 0 लगेगा. आपका -1 या -2 नहीं होगा, आपके 0 मार्क्स आएंगे. सो इट इज बेटर कि आप सारे क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करें. अटेम्प्ट ऑल द क्वेश्चंस, ओके, ऑल ऑफ देम. व्हाई? सपोज आपको किसी क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं समझ आ रहा है एंड आपको लग रहा है कि शायद ए और बी में से कोई आंसर हो सकता है, तो आपके हिसाब से चांसेस तो है ना कि 50% ए करेक्ट होगा, 50% बी करेक्ट होगा. तो आप एक तो अटेम्प्ट करें ही, कुछ ना कुछ टिक करके आए, कुछ ना कुछ OMR शीट पे मार्क करके आए, ताकि शायद ही वो सही हो जाए. अगर आप उसे छोड़ देंगे या आप गलत मार्क करेंगे, आपको 0 ही आएगा. तो इसीलिए इससे अच्छा आप उसे कोई ना कोई आंसर आप मार्क करके आए, आपको जो सही लग रहा है आपके हिसाब से. You really have nothing to lose in this situation. Okay? So let's start the quiz from now on. आप अपना column बना लें and column में you make these आप sheet पे अपने columns बना लें, the question numbers and the marks, and जिसमें अपने गलत हुए हैं. जो आपके गलत होंगे, you remember you have to write your mistakes. जो आपकी मिस्टेक्स हैं इन्हें आप लिखें और इन्हीं को आपने आगे जाके अच्छे से रिवाइज करना है, कहाँ आपने गलती करी. ओके, ये आपके लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. रिवाइजिंग वेयर यू वेंट रॉन्ग एंड रेक्टिफाइंग द मिस्टेक सो दैट आप वो मिस्टेक्स रिपीट ना करें. अब लेट्स स्टार्ट आवर क्विज. सो योर टाइम स्टार्ट्स. All right, so now we have moved towards the questions. The first category of questions say choose the correct adjective from the given options. So herein what we have to do is we are given a set of 4 words, and out of these 4 words we have to choose the one which is an adjective. Now the other 3, they may either be nouns, they may be verb, they may be an adverb, right? And that you will see, figure out as and when with each question. Okay, इससे आपके बाकी concepts की revision भी हो जाएगी कि adverbs क्या होते थे and nouns and verbs. Alright, let's start. First set of words, the blanks say, the words are cowardly, belly, apply and beautifully. So here, which one is an adjective? चलो हम देखते हैं. Here, the correct answer is A, cowardly. Cowardly, which means someone, who's scared. Then the other words, belly refers to the stomach area. Okay, so it's a noun. C, apply is a verb, an action. D, beautifully. 1. Time's up. Okay, here. A. Loyally. B. Rarely. C. Hungrily. Or D. Scholarly. Now, here in questions, these questions you might get confused because mostly they are ending in ly, and ly usually हम देखते हैं ly में end हो रहे हैं तो हमें लगता है कि adverbs हैं, but हमें every word we have to see carefully and figure out whether it is an adverb or adjective, कि कोई manner describe कर रहे हैं या फिर कोई person को describe, कोई thing के लिए हम describe कर रहे हैं. Let's see. A. Loyally. It is telling us a manner. It is answering the question of how, right, in a loyal manner. So this is an adverb. B. Rarely. Rarely again is an adverb. C. Hungrily, like in a hungry manner. This is also an adverb. Whereas here, scholarly. Scholarly refers to someone, who is intelligent. Okay, scholarly, smart, getting good marks. That's a scholar. One. Time's up. Okay, so here the options are A. Gracefully, B. Carefully, C. Friendly, D. Supply. Yeah, the correct answer is C. Friendly. Friendly, someone who's amiable, talks, like socializing, talks in a well-mannered, polite way, okay? A. Gracefully means in a graceful manner, adverb of manner, answers the question of how. B. Carefully, again the same adverb of manner. D. Supply is a noun. Or we can also say supply can be a noun in one sense and it can be a verb also in one sense. Okay, when we talk about to supply, like he supplied me toffees, so that way supply can be a verb, whereas supply can also be a noun, or when we say he brought me the supplies. One. Time's up. Alright, now here the words say A. Chilly, B. Grimly, C. Remorsefully, D. Telly. Here, which is an adjective, A. Chilly. Like I'm feeling very chilly, it's very chilly outside, which means it's very cold, like, chills are there. It's very cold waves. Okay, that's chilly. B. Grimly, C. Remorsefully, both of them are adverbs. Okay, tell us the other adverbs of manner, answering the question of how. D. Telly is another term for television. 2, 1. Time's up. Alright, here. Briskly, B. Costly, C. Family, D. Ruthlessly. Here the correct answer is B. Costly. Costly means something that is expensive. In other words, briskly and D. Ruthlessly. Both of these are adverbs of manner, answering the question of how. Like briskly means in a brisk manner, in a swift, steady manner. Ruthlessly in a ruthless manner, in a mean and one. Time's up. A. Formally, B. Boldly, C. Hilly, or D. Dimly. Here the adjective is C. Hilly. Hilly means place with a lot of hills, right? That's a hilly area, which means that place has a lot of hills. So adjective is hilly. A. Formally, which means previously. Okay. B. Boldly, in a bold manner. D. Dimly, in a dim manner. So all of these, they are one. Time's up. A. Rally, B. Sly, C. Wrongly, D. Openly. Yeah, pretty easy. The correct answer is B. Sly. Sly means someone who's clever. Okay, I'm pretty sure you must have read the story about, heard the story about the sly fox, the clever fox. Okay, that's clever. A. Rally. Now rally is a noun. C. Wrongly and D. Openly. Both of these are adverbs of manner. One. Time's up. A. Annually, B. Apply, C. Jolly, D. Badly. Here the correct answer is C. Jolly. Jolly is an adjective, which means someone cheerful, happy. Okay. Other options like A, annually. Annually is the adverb of frequency, answering the question of how often, something that happens once a year. B, apply. Apply is a verb. And D, badly is another adverb of manner, answering the question of how.
Two, one. Time's up.
Choose the correct adjective from the given options. Alright, so here again we have to choose an adjective. We are given options, and from these options some may be a verb, some may be a noun, some may be an adverb, and one will be an adjective. There may be one or more than one adjectives, but we have to choose the correct adjective. Alright, let's start. The book is very dash. Informative, informing, C, informed, D, informs. Now here the correct answer is A. The book is very informative. Now, informative is the word which is describing the book. Alright, it is used to describe the book, so it is an adjective. B, informing is the continuous form of the verb inform. C, informed is again the past tense of the verb inform. D, inform is again the
Two, one. Time's up.
Alright, so here the question says, if you want to be good at football, you need a very dash spirit. A, compete, B, competition, C, competitive, or D, competitor. Here the adjective is C, competitive. It is describing what? Describing the spirit which needs to be competitive, which is, full of competition. The other words here, compete is a verb, competition is a noun, and competitor is also a noun. However, competitor is a person who's competing, whereas competition is actually the event that is taking place. Alright, so here the adjective is C, competitive. 1. Time's up. Okay, so here it says, it is not dash to cycle down the busy main road. A. Advise, B. Advising, C. Advisable, or D. Advise. Okay, so here the adjective. The adjective, the word which is describing, is C. Advisable. It is not advisable to cycle down the busy main road. Okay, the other one's A. Advise is a verb, B. Advising, again verb key, so it's in the continuous tense. Again, advise is a verb. Sorry, this advise, though advise with S, A-D-V-I-S-E, this is a verb. This one, advise, A-D-V-I-C, is a noun. Okay, it is a thing. So you have to be very careful about this S and C. Okay, it can confuse you, like it just did for me. Two, 1. Time's up. Okay, next. After a dash week at work, Mrs. Batra enjoys a relaxing weekend with her family. A. Stress, B. Stressed, C. Stressing, or D. Stressful. The correct answer is D. Stressful. Stressful is the word which is describing what? The week of Mrs. Batra. So it is an adjective. Other options like A. Stress. It can be used as a verb as well, and it can be used as a noun as well. B. Stressed. I was stressed. It can be the past tense of the verb. C. Stressing, again the verb and its verb's continuous form. Two, 1. Time's up. Alright, here, complete the sentence with the correct degree of adjective. We did degrees, remember? We have positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. So accordingly, we have to choose which degree the adjective will be used. Let's see. The maths exam was dash than I expected. Difficult, most difficult, least difficult, less difficult. Here, the correct answer is D, less difficult. Which degree is this? This is comparative degree. Okay, more or less we use when we are using comparative degree, either more or less, right? So the maths exam was less difficult than expected. Why comparative degree? Because we're comparing two things. What? The expectation and the reality. maths exam was in reality, and that is compared to the expectation, so less difficult. Other options: A, difficult is the positive degree, B and C are the superlative degree. Alright, so here the question says dash marks in the history test were 94. The options are the better, best, the good. So here the correct answer is C. The best marks in the history test were 94. Why the best? Because you're talking about something which is on the higher level, like the highest level of something or the upper level. Then we use the superlative degree. So the answer is the best. Now here for the best we also have B, which just says best, but we are not using that because it does not have the article the. Now for the other ones you see a the better. Here it is not comparative, and also we don't use the when we're talking about the comparative degree, and also we do not use the when we're talking about the positive degree good. So we have good, better, best, and here the answer is going to Disneyland was dash exciting experience of my life. A, the most exciting, B, most exciting, C, the more exciting, or D, more exciting. The correct answer is A, the most exciting. Again, we're using the superlative degree because we're talking about the upper level of something, okay? Or from all the experiences, going to Disneyland was the top experience, the most exciting experience. Again, we have to use the article the because we're talking about superlative degree. So here B is incorrect. Then C and D, they are comparative degrees. So this is also incorrect. And yes, so comparative degree is not Rani is dash Samira. Rani is more beautiful than, beautiful as. C, the most beautiful. D, none of these. Here the correct answer is A, more beautiful than. Why more beautiful than? Because we're comparing two things. Alright, more beautiful than. Here we're using more as well. More in the positive adjective, and than. Than we use when we are talking about comparison, comparing two nouns, Rani and Samira. Alright. I like dash pop music but not all. A little, B less, C some, D and E. So here the correct answer is pop music के लिए which adjective will we refer? We will be using I like some pop music but not all. Alright. Okay, there is a dash water in the pot. There is a little water in the pot. There is a each water in the pot. There is a any water in the pot, or both B and C. Correct answer is a little water in the pot. Water is what? Uncountable noun. Dash people can speak many languages. Many people, little people, few people, or each people. Now here the correct answer, pretty easy, is C. Few people can speak many languages. Here we are talking about people, so we'll be using few. With this, we finish the questions of adjectives.
That's all for our class on adjectives. I hope you have understood you have had the basic idea. Make sure you revise these concepts, and if you have made any mistakes, make sure you rectify them so that you don't repeat these mistakes in the future. Alright, I will see you the next time. Thank you for watching.